Hi and welcome back to Garden Ninja. Now today's video guide is going to show you how you can design a long, narrow or skinny garden. And these are the trickiest garden design styles to try and tackle. And I'm going to be showing you my top tips as to how to avoid the dreaded tunnel effect in any skinny gardens. So come on, let's get cracking. If you've not already subscribed to my YouTube channel, hit the red button to subscribe today. Also click the bell for notifications. We'll have access to hundreds of garden design hints, tips and hacks from me, the Garden Ninja. And best of all, it's free. Now the biggest problem with long, skinny gardens is that they have what's known as the tunnel effect. And the tunnel effect is that you look down the garden as if you're staring through a tunnel, and usually people plant up these skinny borders down the sides, or they stick something way in the distance, which just draws you through the garden with this really claustrophobic sense, as if you're in a tunnel. And this garden design guide is going to show you how you can avoid that pitfall and create beautiful, skinny gardens that you wouldn't even know were skinny by the time you finished. Now the first design trick with skinny gardens is to break that tunnel effect. And us designers do that by splitting the garden into different areas, sometimes known as zones. And you do this through transitional spaces. So rather than having all the good stuff at the far end of the garden, you would break up the skinny garden into maybe 3 or 5 separate sections along the longest side of the garden. And what that does is it means that you can create planting plans for each section of the garden, plus transitional areas such as arches, trees, or changes in patterns or textures to help slow down the look through the garden, which immediately breaks the tunnel because you start to see that you've got one zone here, another there, another further on. It stops you going straight to the end and slows you down. The second top tip is to start thinking horizontally rather than vertically, because with a long skinny garden, often you are trying to design looking down the garden, down that tunnel, down the skinny length, but actually you want to try and shift your mind to looking widthways. And what I mean by that is you can start to play around with the direction of paths and navigation through the garden. If we were just to have a path from the beginning of the house all the way down to the end of the garden, we're emphasising that tunnel. So I want you to think about paths horizontally, taking you through and then off on a dog's leg, or maybe on diagonals through those transitional zones, so that we're using the width of the garden to focus the eye, not the length. Yes, it makes the garden feel a little bit smaller, but it also slows you down because you've not got that tunnel effect or the claustrophobia. And this is the bit that most people get wrong. Start thinking widthways when you're planning the garden, whether that's flower beds or paths, and taking you off at different angles down that skinny garden. The third tip with skinny gardens is to use destination points. And that's really just a fancy design term for giving you a reason to go down the garden and to stop at the various zones or transition points in the space. Now a destination point could be, for example, a seating area or a pergola. It could be a water feature, a beautiful specimen tree, or some form of sculpture or interest that stops you in your tracks. And with a long skinny garden, you don't have to have that at the very far end. And another mistake people make is that they put the seating area either right next to the house, so there's no reason to go down the garden, or at the very far end, which can feel quite overwhelming, distant. And let's be honest, most humans are lazy. They're not going to walk all the way down to the end of the garden if they don't have to. So sometimes what I like to do is to put the seating area in the middle or the first third, and then have flower beds and other points of interest as we get further back. And what can be really beautiful is to have, say, a family-sized seating area in the middle of the garden, but then at the very top we have a smaller nook, maybe for 2 or 3 people, plus a water feature, so you can get away from the crowds and just relax. So don't push everyone to the borders, bring them into the middle. Now another great tip with skinny gardens is to use repetition, whether that's the plants, the paving materials, or the colours that you use. We repeat them throughout the garden. But the great thing is you can break this rule. And as we've talked about transitional spaces, what you could do, for example, is to take purple as your main colour, but then as we get towards the very far end of the skinny garden, we shift to orange, which is a direct contrast. So 2/3 of the garden might be purple. When we get to the final area, the planting starts to include orange, and that will liven things up and give you a reason to go down to the other end of the garden. So we use cohesion throughout most of the garden, but here and there we jazz things up either with contrasting colours, changing paving type, or something unexpected. And when it comes to planting up and designing the skinny garden, beginner and some professional garden designers fail to think about the depth of the flower beds. What we try and do is to squeeze too much into the space by planting on both sides. However, with a skinny garden, you do not have that luxury. So it's far better to plant on one side of the garden with a much deeper flower bed than two skinny beds. And you can alternate. So you might start on the left side with a 1.5 metre deep border, and then as we transition to the next zone, we flip that to the other side. So we start to play around with the balance of the garden, meaning that this side feels heavier, then that side does, and then the final side. And you can play around with it and it will help direct you through the garden. And by using asymmetry and weighting on either side, you can change the feel as you walk through the skinny garden. Have you got gardening questions that you need answers for? Well, why not head over to the Garden Ninja forum on my blog, where you can ask me anything about gardens, plants and garden design. There's a whole army of other garden ninjas there that can help provide answers to your questions. It's a really great way to meet the other ninjas, so head over there now. So there we have it, my top tips when I'm designing skinny gardens, along with some of my design examples. If you've liked this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel where there are hundreds of garden design hints, tips and hacks to help you make your gardens awesome. If you want even more gardening knowledge, head over to my website, gardenninja.co.uk. And lastly, if you want to become a garden designer like me, then why not sign up for one of my online courses where you can learn at your own pace and become an absolutely incredible garden designer. I've been Burkhill, a Garden Ninja. Happy gardening.